Have you ever felt stuck in your artistic journey, struggling to overcome those pesky creative blocks? Well, today we have an exciting challenge for you that incorporates 10 tips for unleashing your artistic potential. Get ready to create a powerful tool to overcome those slumps. A prompt jar. So let's dive in and create our very own prompt jar together. But before we begin, let me ask you this. Have you ever found yourself stuck in a creative block? It happens to all of us. That's why we've compiled 10 incredible tips to help you overcome those blocks and ignite your imagination. And guess what? Each step of creating this prompt jar incorporates one of those tips. Let's get started. Tip number 1, give yourself permission to create imperfectly. Remember, it's all about enjoying the process rather than striving for perfection. So let go of any pressure and have fun with this project. I went to a conference recently. It's called Craftcation. We'll get to that in a future video because I'm going again next year. Anyway, at the first session, the opening ceremonies of the conference, 5 days of crafting, can you imagine? It was fabulous. Anyway, so we're at the opening ceremony. I'm nervous. I've had some, shall we say, trauma in my life regarding art and creativity. Another thing for a later topic. So we're at this thing. I'm nervous. I'm surrounded by people I don't know. And up steps this woman named Nicole. Nicole is the head of Dear Handmade Life. It's a wonderful organization. She gets up there and she starts talking. And one thing stuck out to me. At the end of the conference, or at the end of her speech, she tells everybody to go out and make ugly art. And I suddenly realized I had permission to not be perfect. That it didn't have to be right. It didn't have to be beautiful to anybody else. All it had to be was done. Tip number 2, switch up your tools and materials. How about using vibrant cardstock or patterned paper for your prompt strips? Get creative with your choices. A way for me to switch things up would be to use muted tones, pastels, or even earth tones. Anything like that would be switching it up for me. It would be uncomfortable, it would be unusual, but it might be right. You never know. Tip number 3. Take a break and do something unrelated to art. Pause for a moment. Enjoy a quick relaxation exercise. Go for a walk. Take the dog out. Go watch the kids play at the park. Have an ice cream cone. Do something that gets you away from your space so that you don't have to think about it. Tip number 4, collaboration is key. Reach out to a fellow artist or a friend who shares your creative passion. Ask them for a suggestion and add it to your jar. This collaboration brings new perspectives and expands your artistic horizons. Tip number 5, embrace prompts and challenges. Now, brainstorm unique themes, techniques, or emotions you'd like to explore. Write them down on additional strips of paper. These prompts will keep your creative energy flowing. Tip number 6, become an observer of the world. Find inspiration in nature, architecture, people, and objects. Write down an observation-based prompt and add it to your jar. Tip number 7, mistakes are stepping stones to greatness. Intentionally crumple a strip of paper or make a small ink blot. This mistake will remind us to embrace imperfections and learn from them. Tip number 8, and this is going to be a hard one. Get out of your comfort zone. Think of a style or subject matter you've never tried before. Write it down on a strip of paper and add it to your jar. This prompt will encourage you to explore new artistic territories. Number 9, break down your work into smaller steps. Let's practice this tip while creating the prompt jar itself. Divide the process into manageable stages like gathering materials, cutting paper strips, writing prompts, and adding them to the jar. By doing so, you set achievable goals and ensure progress. Finally, tip number 10, keep a sketchbook or journal. Document your journey. Jot down ideas, sketches, and inspirations in a dedicated sketchbook or journal. It's a valuable resource to keep your creativity flowing. And there you have it, a fantastic prompt jar incorporating all 10 tips for overcoming creative blocks. Now, whenever you're feeling stuck, reach into your jar, pick a prompt, and let your creativity soar. Thank you so much for joining us on this exciting journey to overcome creative blocks. I hope these tips and your prompt jar will empower you to unleash your artistic potential. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more creative inspiration. Now, go forth and create incredible art.